guys, it's Laura. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a DIY overhead camera rig for under $30. So there's many things that I like to have an overhead camera shot for. When I'm filming my bullet journals, when I'm filming my cash envelopes, there's a lot of times where having an overhead camera rig is really nice to be able to shoot photography and videos. The problem is that if you look for a tripod that has the overhead ability, they're like $150. And I did not want to waste money on something that I was only going to be using for those type of camera shots. So I decided to make my own overhead camera rig, and I love DIY projects. So I scoured the internet for certain types of overhead camera rigs. I found several different kinds. One was made out of a metal pipe, and I tried to do that, but the metal pipe was really greasy and it kind of left a residue on my hands and I didn't really like it. Plus it was also very heavy. So I'm opting to create one out of PVC pipe, which if you've seen my past DIY videos, I like to make things out of PVC. So this was a logical step for me, and I can't wait to show you guys how to make your own DIY overhead camera rig for not a lot of money. Okay, this is what you're going to need for your DIY camera overhead rig setup. I am using PVC pipes, and I actually bought these in a 2-foot long section because they're a little bit more rigid than the 10 feet pieces, and I just wanted the stability. I've cut them down to size depending on how large you want your camera setup. That's what size you're going to do. These are the two for the sides, so I did make them 20 inches long. These are the two that are going to be for the overhead. When put together, I made them 15 inches long each. And then these four are the legs for the bottom of the camera. They're each about 10 inches long. They're going to be used to put together in a T. So you're also going to need some primer for your PVC pipes. You're also going to need some cement for the PVC pipes. You can get these in a set. I already had them from previous projects. You're going to need 2 of the T junctions, 2 elbows, and 1 connector. And this is really only if you're making a larger spot on the top to connect the 2 pieces, but I wanted to be able to have this for, again, additional stability, and also to connect my pipe camera rig. So this is something I got off Amazon. I will link it in the description box below, but one end hooks onto your pipe and is adjustable, and then the other end holds your camera, and this is completely adjustable as well. So it allows you to hook onto the pipe and get a complete overhead camera shot. Now the other thing that I got to do for the legs is these little rubber leg tips. These are actually furniture type of protectors, and I'm gonna use them to put on the ends of each of the pipes so that I can have them be really nice and stable and also protect my tabletop from any scratches. So I've got a set of 4 of those. Okay, first step, whenever you're working with PVC pipe, you want to make sure that it's clean, and you're going to use your primer first, followed by your cement, and you also want to make sure you're doing this in a well-ventilated area. So we're going to go ahead and start by putting together the legs. So you'll take one of your leg pieces and you're going to put a T right here in the middle, and then you'll put another leg piece on the other side. So first things first, we need some primer, and then some cement, and then you're going to just rotate your T's on till you get a nice junction there. I actually am gonna go wipe that off. I'll grab a paper towel here. By the way, this is all 1/2-inch pipe that I'm using for this project, but you could use whatever you'd like. I just prefer the sizing of the 1/2-inch pipe. So you're gonna repeat the same thing with the next piece of the leg. So this is one of your legs. You're gonna repeat this for the second leg. Okay, I'm just gonna clean up the sides here with paper towel and also my tabletop because I should have probably put something underneath. Okay, now we have our 2 leg pieces. Now we're going to put on the 2 side pieces, which in my case is the longer piece, the one that's 20 inches long. That's how high it will be. So again, you're going to take one of your leg pieces, you'll prep one of the sides here, some glue, and then you'll go ahead and stick it right inside the leg piece. so that it's standing straight up for you, and put it aside to dry. You're gonna repeat with the second piece. And set it aside to dry. While those two pieces are drying, we're gonna connect the center piece. This is going to be the overhead piece, and we're gonna use our connector to be able to put that together. So just prep one side. And the glue. And put on your connector. And repeat with the other piece. So this is actually the center of the overhead piece where I will ultimately connect my camera holder. Now it's just a matter of putting these three pieces together using the elbows that you have. Now this is kind of tricky because you want to make sure that when you have your piece on there that it's also pointing down in the same direction on both sides of this larger overhead piece. So you need to make sure that when you put it on, you're paying attention. I like to kind of look down the piece visually to be able to line up where the elbow is coming. So I'm going to take the top overhead piece and I'll prep one side. This side doesn't matter as much as the second side as far as where the elbow lands, but the other side will matter. So you're gonna have just a fraction of a second to be able to twist it into place if it's not facing the right direction when you initially put it on. So now that I have this one faced this way, I know exactly if I look straight down the piece, I can line my other elbow up with this end visually and be able to put it on the other side here. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep it where I can see directly down the piece, and I'll prep this end and be able to put the other elbow so that it faces the exact same direction. Okay, so I have the overhead piece with an elbow on one side, an elbow on the other side. They're facing down in the same direction, and now we're going to attach it to the two side legs on the top piece of the PVC pipe. This time when you attach your bottom piece to the elbow, you want to make sure that it's an exact 90-degree angle and it's facing over the middle of the bottom piece so that you have a perfect vertical piece with the horizontal right in place. And you'll do the same thing for the other side. Now that I have all of the pieces assembled, I'm going to take my stopper and my bottom piece and go ahead and just push this and twist this on to each of the four legs so that it makes a nice cushion for having my stand on the table. Okay, so here is the finished PVC pipe setup. So you have your two top pieces with your connector in the middle, you have your two elbows on the sides, and at the bottom you have your two legs, and each leg is joined together with a T on one side, and I have put my little stoppers on the end of each leg to be able to protect my tabletop. So this is my setup. The last step we need to do is to connect our camera holder to the middle. So this is very easy. It just adjusts to whatever size pipe you have, and I'm gonna choose to clip it right onto the center portion. And then you have the camera piece that actually can adjust up and down and all over to the sides and everything. So you can adjust your camera so that it's completely parallel to the ground and you can get a nice overhead shot. By having this middle connector also, I'm ensuring that I know where my middle piece is, because this is the middle of my setup, so it is the middle of the camera frame as well. So there you have it. Perfect overhead camera setup. You can put this on any table. It's lightweight and you can take it from wherever you need to go. I would not recommend that you use this type of setup for something that is really heavy duty camera. I have a Canon GX7. It's a very small lightweight camera, so it can handle this. But some of the heavier DSLR cameras, you might want to try this and see if it'll work. It is weighted in the center and it is pretty steady because the legs are quite long on either side to allow for stability, but there is a chance that it would not work and you might end up toppling over because of being too top heavy. So you just want to try that out when you're putting together your camera rig. But mine works beautifully and I'll show you how it looks right now. Here's a quick overhead shot of my bullet journal for one of my videos. And another shot of my cash envelopes for a different video. Okay, so that's it for today with our DIY overhead camera rig. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comments what you think about making something like this, or if you try to do it yourself, how it goes for you. And if you found this video helpful, I'd love it if you give it a big thumbs up and share it with a friend. And if you're new here, I invite you to subscribe, click the notification bell. I post videos every week about simple living, minimalist lifestyle, DIY, budgeting, and my 31 business. I hope you'll join me on the next one. I'll see you soon. Bye.